Ever wonder what really drives the price of a cryptocurrency?
Well, I'll tell you, it's not always as simple as just hype.
That's right. Today, we are going to take a deep dive into the world of tokenomics.
Well, that's a great idea. It can be a real game changer.
Right. It's like the DNA of a cryptocurrency.
That's a good way to put it, yeah.
Yeah.
Because it reveals so much about its potential value.
So, like, how does its supply and distribution really impact price? You know, all that stuff.
Yeah, it's crucial for investors to understand this stuff. Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. So, let's say someone's, eyeing a new cryptocurrency, right?
Okay, yeah.
What are like the must-know, the essential data points they should analyze before maybe taking the plunge?
Well, first of all, you really need to get a grip on the circulating supply.
Okay. Circulating supply.
That's the number of tokens actually out there in the market actively being traded.
Got it. So that's like what's available right now on the exchanges.
Exactly. Think of it as the fuel that powers the price action,
Right, yeah. So that's one. What's the next piece of the puzzle?
Next, you got to look at the total supply.
Total supply.
Now, this includes all the tokens ever created for that particular cryptocurrency, even the ones that are like locked away or maybe even burned.
Oh, okay. Interesting. So that gives you a much bigger picture.
Yeah, it does. It's about the overall scale of the project.
Right. Because if, say, there's a huge difference between the circulating supply and that total supply, that could mean a bunch more tokens are waiting in the wings to enter the market.
Yeah, got it. And that could really dilute the value of the tokens that are currently out there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay, so we've got circulating, we've got total. Is there a third thing we got to keep in mind?
Oh, absolutely. There's one more, the maximum supply.
Maximum supply.
This one is super important. This is the absolute limit.
Oh, the hard cap.
The cap, yeah, on how many tokens will ever exist.
Yeah.
A lot of cryptocurrencies, they have this hard cap to control scarcity.
Right, like Bitcoin, I think it's capped at 21 million, right?
Exactly. Bitcoin's a great example.
But wait a minute, I remember looking into Ethereum and realizing it doesn't actually have a fixed maximum supply.
You're right. Ethereum's a bit different. It uses this, flexible issuance model, which, has its own set of advantages and disadvantages when it comes to, potential inflation and long-term value.
That's interesting. So, okay, we've got these three numbers, circulating, total, and maximum.
Yeah.
But how does knowing all this stuff actually help me understand where the price might go? Is there a connection?
Okay. So imagine this. A cryptocurrency with a really limited supply, like Bitcoin, right? It creates a sense of scarcity, there's not that much of this stuff out there. And that scarcity can drive up demand.
Oh, I see. Okay, yeah.
And that can push the price higher. It's basic economics, supply and demand.
Oh, okay. So, on the flip side, if a project has a massive total supply, but only a tiny bit is actually circulating right now, that might mean a big wave of new tokens is coming, potentially driving the price down. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, you got it. It's all about anticipating those shifts in supply and demand.
That makes sense. So it sounds like it's not just about these raw numbers. It's also about understanding how those tokens are released into the market, right?
Absolutely. And that's where understanding token unlock schedules becomes super important.
Unlock schedule. Oh, okay. Tell me more about that.
Yeah. These schedules, they basically lay out how and when those new tokens will be released. And they often provide details about, who's getting them.
Oh, wow. So you can actually see where those tokens are going.
Yeah, makes
sense.
sense.
So what would be a red flag when you're looking at an unlock schedule?
A huge red flag. If you see a project where the founders are holding a massive chunk of tokens and those tokens are set to unlock right after the launch.
Oh, I get it. So they're basically cashing out before anyone else has a chance, right?
Pretty much, yeah. It's something to be wary of for sure.
Yeah. Definitely a warning sign. So are there other types of distribution models we should be aware of? Are there better ways to do it?
Oh, yeah, for sure. You have things like fair launches.
Okay. Fair launches.
Where everyone has a fair chance to buy those tokens at the same price. Right. And those are generally seen as more equitable and transparent,
Right. That makes sense.
Yeah. And then there's also, the more traditional ICOs, initial coin offerings, where tokens are sold to early investors to raise funds for the project.
Right. Right. I've heard about those.
Yeah. And then you have airdrops, which are kind of fun. They just, distribute tokens for free to specific groups, like maybe early adopters or people who hold certain other cryptocurrencies.
Oh, okay. So there are a lot of different ways to distribute these tokens.
Tons of strategies. Yeah. It's fascinating, actually.
It is. But it also seems like it can get, a little risky if you don't understand what you're looking at.
Exactly. That's why tokenomics is so crucial. It's all about understanding the incentives that are baked into the design of a cryptocurrency.
Incentives baked into the design.
Yeah.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
So before we wrap up this deep dive into tokenomics, is there one key takeaway, one thing you really want our listeners to remember?
I'd just say that tokenomics, it's a puzzle piece you can't ignore when evaluating a cryptocurrency. You know what I mean? You've got to do your research. Understand how a project's token distribution, the supply, those unlock schedules, how all those things can impact its future price and its potential.
This has been super eye-opening. I feel like I have a much better understanding now of how to navigate the world of crypto.
That's great to hear.
Thanks for taking this deep dive with us. Remember, knowledge is power.
It is.
And in the world of cryptocurrency, understanding tokenomics, well, that's your superpower.
That's right.
Thanks for joining us.
It was my pleasure.